Good morning, dear colleagues. Good morning, project partners. Thank you so much for your patience. We know that around 70 persons have connected us and have been waiting for beginning of our seminar. This is something that you never expect and you hope to avoid, but usually it takes place that some technicalities arise in the most unexpected moments. So once more, thank you for your patience, and we will try really to speed up with our presentation to try to stick within our timeline that we have promised for this seminar. So as I already told, this is a seminar for project implementation for new projects approved within third call for proposals for Latvia-Lithuania Programme. First of all, I would like to give you some pieces of information about results of the third call for proposals. So, as a result of the call, 42 projects have been selected to be funded. 36 of them are already approved and 30 have already started implementing their activities. Another 6 projects have been put on a waiting list, waiting for funds become available for funding projects. And good news are that no necessary reallocations have taken place, and also these projects in the nearest week time could expect receiving letter from the managing authority about approval of their projects. So thematically, projects have been selected following our usual trend. The most popular is first priority, which is tourism projects, yes, and environmental projects, with 17 projects in total. Then the next popular, most popular is social inclusion projects. In total, 16 projects approved, and also 9 projects are approved under fourth priority, which is efficient public service priority. In total, in these 42 projects, 150 partners should be involved. Quite balanced partnership between Latvian and Lithuanian organizations, around 80 from Latvia and 70 from Lithuania. As regards lead partners of the projects, the most, a bit more are Lithuanian organizations, and 20 are from Latvia. Sizes of partnerships are also very different. The smallest one consists of 2 project partner organizations, and the biggest one consists of 9 project partner organizations. However, average size of partnership is 3 to 4 project partners. Then, to give you some introduction into today's agenda, as you have been informed already in invitation letter, today's meeting is basically a half of content of the implementation seminar for new projects that we usually have due to this online format of webinar. So today we have the first part of the meeting, and in a week time, next Tuesday, we will have the second part of the meeting with completely different content. So first of all, today we will have 3 thematic topics we will present you. That would be project life cycle, communication requirements, as well as project changes and handling of project changes. Each of the topics will be, divided in 3 parts. So first of all, you will have presentation, but the presentation, I would like to pay your attention, will not be the same one that you received already beforehand. I hope that all of you have got acquainted with content of detailed presentation. Today we are going to focus more on valuable tips for successful starting of the project and continuing of implementation of the activities. Paying attention to mistakes that should be avoided and also to good practices from previous experience. Some of you have already sent in questions before the seminar, so those we will try to address and answer maybe in our presentations, but otherwise you have a possibility to send in new questions during presentation, or there will be also some time after the presentation when you can send in questions. And each of these three thematic parts will be ended with interactive quiz for you to test your knowledge and to test what you have learned and if you have got good understanding of respective obligations and requirements. Question and answer session or asking questions and the quiz will take place on Slido.com platform. About technicalities and practicalities, how to use this and how to enter, Jānis will tell you later after my presentation. So, somewhere in the middle of the meeting of seminar, we plan to have 10 minutes comfort break, so that would be probably after communication requirements presentation and part of questions and answers. And also at the end of the day, there will be another possibility to ask questions if you will have any left unanswered. Of course, we will try to end the seminar at the time that we have promised, that it should end 12:30, but we will probably remain here, stay available for answering questions if any would be received, and demand would be there. And also, since questions will be sent in written, we will try to group and to answer them in the not answered questions. We will try to answer all of them after meeting if we will not have time, and send to participants and publish on the website of the program. So then, as I already mentioned a couple of times, next week, next Tuesday, the second part of for this introductory implementation seminar will take place. So please sign up for it, participate, as agenda will be not less exciting than today. It will be, we will tell you and we will introduce you with tips how to plan finances of the project and report them. Namely, we will cover eligibility of costs topic and introduce with the requirements of different budget lines also for project budgets. And then we will also give you introductory first insight into our reporting requirements and how to report in the our electronic monitoring system of the program. So that would be from my side it. Our contacts are on our website. You can always reach us and ask also your questions daily. And I really wish you a fruitful seminar. I hope that you will be active participants of our quizzes and interactive activities. And now I will pass floor to my colleague Jānis, who will introduce you with Slido.com platform and how to work there, how to join it and how to participate in activities, and well, yeah, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Zanda, for a nice introduction. Thanks everyone of 70 people who are watching us. I will tell you now about how to join us. Unfortunately, due to safety restrictions, we are not able to invite you to join us here now. So all interaction with us will be via Slido. You have to type slido.com on your mobile phone, and you can join our event by adding event code that is 79739, or alternatively, if you have a smartphone camera that supports scanning QR codes, you can scan code at the top left of the screen. So let's try how it works. The first task is a warm-up activity. We invite you to send a word or words that best describes your project. I forgot to tell that in Slido there are two tabs. First is for questions, and you have to open second tab that will be used for our quizzes. So we are seeing first words already. Let's wait for at least 50 words, as there are more than 70 of us who is watching. What we can see, cultural exchange, bodies. What is meant by bodies? Like organizational bodies, water, neighbors. We see that cooperation is mentioned several times, so it's getting bigger than other words. Hiking, yes, we have several hiking trails in new third goal hiking project. What else? Historical parks. I see you mentioned something from your project. Baltz Road, yes. I see hiking is more popular. By the way, did you watch our discussion at Lampa Festival in the beginning of September? It was a very nice discussion, moderated by Kristīna Garklava. If you missed it, you can still watch it at Lampa archive. I highly suggest you to watch it. It was a very interesting discussion. So we are still waiting for 22 more words. Rivers, trees, nature. We are like more environment. Shady. What do you mean shady? Lakes. Inspiration, I like. Safe schools, I see from the project. Uncomfortable. Why? Why is that? Why uncomfortable? Craftsmanship, also from projects, something. Clean water. Please join us We still need 15 more words. You can enter several words. You are not limited to just one. I see that lakes are getting more popular than hiking and cooperation. Safety. Underwater cinema. Do we have in some project? We don't know. Sustainable, yes. Exploring. Activity. We are still missing 14 words. Yeah, I guess there have been more words added, just those who are repeating, those are bigger compared to other words that are mentioned only one time. Rivers is less popular than lakes. I see only rivers mentioned once. But lakes, several times. Family friendly, good, yes. New routes, we have many new routes, yes. Urban wetland, yes, it's from the project. Trees. While you are adding words, I would like to explain how you are invited to ask questions. Please reserve your questions towards the end of the presentation, because maybe answer to your question is within presentation. And please ask presentation-specific questions by the end of each presentation, and please reserve general or other questions for question and answer session at the end of the webinar. So what do we see new here? Communities, heritage, yes, we have several projects with this. History, yes. So I think that's it at the moment. If you still haven't written your word, please do it. We will leave it live still. And now I invite my colleague Nikolai Fadeyev to present his presentation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nikolai Fadeyev, and I will tell you in short about project lifecycle. First of all, a small reminder for you that all relevant information, such as for project implementation, such as templates for partnership agreements, templates for list of participants, of posters, you can find on our website, latlit.eu. There you can also find 3 main documents that you shall use during your project implementation. First is program manual. The second is guidance on how to implement project via EMS, where you can find all necessary information regarding EMS and how to handle changes, how to submit reports. And the third document is communication guidelines, where you can find all rules and requirements for visibility and communication. At the start of the project, there is a small to-do list for you to remember. First, you shall organize a kickoff meeting if you planned it in your application form. If you did not, then you can at least organize some communication via phone, Skype, or Zoom, or another platform just to start up all your activities. You shall discuss and prepare a detailed work plan and also budget plan. You shall send out press release in national languages, and which you shall harmonize with GS Communication Manager. You shall also place a poster at each project partner location, and the template you can find on our website. You shall also sign a partnership agreement and put it in the EMS in supplementary information section, partnership agreement. And for Lithuanian partners, they shall procure and sign agreement with their financial control. In short, about national co-financing. For Latvians, it is up to 5% of total partner's budget, and the deadline to apply for it is 3 months after signing subsidy contract and partnership agreement. You can find more information on our website in section How to Implement and subsection State Budget Support Scheme for Latvian partners. For Lithuanian partners, the percentage is 7.5 of total partner budget, and partners shall apply for it within 12 months after signing subsidy contract. More information is also available on our website. Coming back to financial control, for Latvia it is centralized, and you shall find more information on our website in subsection Financial Control for Latvia. You shall inform your controllers, and the contacts are on the website. For Lithuanian partners, the financial control is decentralized, and partners already planned their costs in the budget, so they shall organize a procurement, get approval from the Ministry of Interior, then only sign a contract with the winning company and inform their lead partner. Also, the financial control shall apply for the access in the EMS to GS. All information is again on our website. In the current situation that we have a COVID, many projects are already contacting us for the changes. Yes, and my colleague Anda will today provide you more information about the changes, but here in short, the whole information is on our program manual, section 7.2, project changes. In short, there are 3 types of changes. Minor changes that you communicate via consolidated report, minor changes that you request as a modification request in the EMS, and major changes that are also requested via EMS. For changes that you will request in the EMS, you need to fill in a Word form. You can find it on our website. And there you need to fill in 4 sections: what was planned, what would you want to change, both in the work plan and in the budget, why you want to have these changes, and what will be the impact of these changes to your project. In order to assess if project is well on track, partners shall submit regular reports. Each partner will submit the end of the reporting period a partner report which consists of description of implemented activities, achievement of project main outputs, and finances, meaning expenditures. This report will be verified by the financial controller, and afterwards lead partner will submit a consolidated progress report. Here is a general scheme. So in the end of the reporting period, each partner has 2 weeks to submit partner report. Please, we advise you to spend the time and to prepare qualitative reports, and they really take time. So please don't delay these partner reports. Then financial controller of the partner has up to 2 months to verify and issue the certificate for the partner report. Then lead partner has 2 weeks to prepare a consolidated report and submit it to GS. Then MA within 2 weeks will pay 70% of the ERDF payment to lead partner, which lead partner will have to distribute to project partners within 1 month. After the first payment, MA and GS has up to 2.5 months to verify the report and pay second amount, 30% of ERDF payment. And again, lead partner shall transfer the shares of ERDF to project partners within 1 month. So in whole, this process takes up to 6 months if partners and lead partners are not delaying their reports and do not delay answering the questions from financial control and from GS. Now, a few implementation tips. First of all, start as fast as possible, because we know usually projects delay. You shall implement the project according to what is written in the application form. If there are any deviations, problems, delays, you shall inform your GS manager and apply for changes if needed. Please be realistic with your time planning. For example, public procurements, we know that they take much longer time than you actually plan. So please be realistic. Also follow the reporting schedule, as I said, because reporting takes more time usually than it is planned. Please be prepared that your sufficient human resources are available just at the start of the project, and you have good project manager and financial manager that are informed about all program requirements, because they are part of your project success and our program success. Please ensure your efficient communication within the project with your project partners, and ensure that you have very clear division between the tasks and the budget, and each project partner knows what he is doing. When the project is finished, please be reminded that still all partners have obligations after project closure. For example, the ownership of project outputs cannot be transferred within 5 years from the last payment to the lead partner. Partners shall keep the documents, for project documents, for at least 5 years, again after the final payment to the lead partner. And if some irregularities are found even after the project end, they still have to be repaid by the project partners. We, as MA and GS, we support you in various ways. We have all relevant information on our website. We have templates for contracts, agreements, communication package. We have guidance how to use EMS. We also provide consultations via phone, email, and you can also come to our offices in Vilnius and Riga. We organize seminars and webinars, and if needed, we can also organize a project visit. Now coming to the second point in the agenda, let's discuss a subsidy contract and partnership agreements. What are the partner's responsibilities? First of all, for the lead partner bears overall financial and legal responsibility for the project and for the project partners, and all communication with program bodies, with MA, GS, goes via lead partner. The main responsibilities for a lead partner are signing partnership agreement, maintaining overall project management, and monitoring of the project implementation, requesting necessary project changes on behalf of all project partners, preparing consolidated report, preparing partner report, and respecting program rules. For project partners, the responsibilities are implementation of their assigned project activities, management of their part of the project, again respecting program rules, guaranteeing sound financial management, preparation of partner reports, as already said, and informing lead partner if there are any problems or necessary changes in the project. But for the partnership agreement, please see highlighted that MAGS are not parties in the agreement or in the disputes, so we encourage partners agree among themselves and solve any disputes among themselves with some agreement. Also, in the partnership agreement, it is mentioned that lead partner and project partners commit to jointly implement project in accordance with the application form and to support one another. And project partners commit to undertake all necessary steps to support lead partner to fulfill its obligations. And if any disputes will go to court, then if needed, lead partner country law is applicable. In the end, a slide about subsidy contract, about the payments, that lead partner shall transfer relevant ERDF shares to project partners within 1 month, as said. Payments are made on the reimbursement basis, and no advance payments from the program are available. If any expenditures are ineligible, then MA has the right to request to make a recovery procedure if needed, or not to repay ineligible expenses. So this is the end of the presentation.
So we have received question. The question is, can we change partnership agreement?
We provide a form, it's like a template, and if needed, partners and lead partners can amend it in accordance to their agreement. Okay, you can also type now your questions regarding project lifecycle in Slido. I remind you that the code is 79739. You can also use Slido on your computer. But yeah? Okay, now we can go to the quiz in the Slido. Please type your name to enter the quiz. Okay, so far 15 people joined. Please be active. The quiz is short and simple, so you can check your knowledge that you just gained from the presentation. So far 25 people joined. So maybe we can start. 32 people already joined. Okay, question 1. Who is responsible overall for the project legally and financially during project implementation? You have 30 seconds to answer the question, and only one option is correct. And the majority of you are correct. As it was mentioned in my slides, lead partner bears overall responsibility both legally and financially for the project and project partners. So 76% of you are correct. And the quickest, 5 of the quickest are presented on the slide. Okay, next question. Project partner that prepares press releases is highly recommended to harmonize it with Okay, that was an easy question. 86% of you are correct. As I was mentioning, that we advise you to harmonize press releases with communication managers, and we have 2 communication managers, Yanis Vanaks, who could check your press release in English and Latvian, and another communication manager is Inga Ringalaite. She is in the Vilnius office, and she could check your press releases in English and Lithuanian. Okay, now we'll go to the third question. What information must be included in the partner report? And again, most of you are correct. All of the above is the correct option. You shall include a list of expenditures and information about the activities, also achievement of project main outputs. Next question. According to program documents, then project partner will receive first payment of 70% of ERDF after the submission of project consolidated report. Here the correct answer is 1 month and 2 weeks. Let's calculate together. Within 2 weeks, MA will make a first 70% payment to lead partner, and then lead partner has 1 month to pay to project partners. So in total, 1 month and 2 weeks. So third option is correct. And actually, this shows that most of project partners, they don't understand still when they will receive a payment. That's why we receive quite often many questions regarding the timing when the payment will be done. So it's not always depends on the MA and GS when the payment will be made, and you shall wait for your lead partner to submit consolidated report and hurry them to do it. Next question, question 5. How should the partners solve an argument or dispute that occurs between them during project implementation? As I was stressing out, the third option is correct. They shall come to the agreement among project partners. Only if there is an extreme case, then they could apply for consultation with GS. Okay, we can go to next question, question 6. What advanced payment from the program is available? A majority of you are correct. The last answer is correct. No advance payment from the program is available, as it was mentioned in my slides. Okay, the leaderboard stays mostly the same, unchanged. And the last question from me, for how many years from the last payment the ownership of assets can be changed? Most of you are correct. Partners cannot change the ownership of assets like infrastructure or intellectual property for at least 5 years from the last payment to the lead partner. Okay, this is it. We can check who was the quickest. So thank you all for participation. We have only one participant who managed to answer all 7 questions correctly. So congratulations to Diana. Now I pass the microphone to my colleague Yanis, who will give you a presentation about communication requirements.
Thank you, Nikolai. So my name is Jānis Vanaks. I'm information manager for Latvia-Lithuania Programme, and you can consult me or my colleague Inga regarding all your project communication matters. Communication is where many mistakes are being made, unfortunately, for projects. So please listen carefully to my presentation and avoid making mistakes. For the program, we have communication guidelines, and I highly recommend, if not reading them from all, then please check. We have receipts and directions and guidance for almost every situation you may occur, what publicity requirements need to be met. And if you follow those our guidelines, publicity guidelines, everything will be fine with your project finances, and also a lot of people will know what you are doing about your project. So as I already mentioned, our communication guidelines, you can download them on how to implement section of our website, subsection publicity. In this presentation, I will tell you about 8 mandatory requirements of those communication guidelines, and also I will show you some of the most frequently made mistakes. So, the first and probably the easiest requirement is that each project partner at his premises should have a 3 poster with information about the project. To make your life easier, we have prepared the template. You can download it from how to implement section of our website, publicity subsection, and use this template. If you are not sure, please send us your poster and we will check whether all requirements are met. All information is in template. You just have to write your project-specific information there. Second mandatory requirement is that there should be information about the project on project partners' websites. It can't be buried very deeply. It should be accessible by 3 to 4 clicks, and the logo of the program should be visible immediately without scrolling. But please have a good thinking where to put also project information. For example, if your project is making new route and there is some brochure or guide, please don't put this guide or brochure only in this project section. You can put it also in tourism section. So think where people would look for such kind of information, and according to this also place it there. Regarding Facebook, I think most of you are very active on Facebook, but please remember to tag our program on Facebook. So we hear what good things you are doing, and we can share on our Facebook account it also. So some common mistakes with putting information on websites. Other logos are larger than EU emblem. I will talk about this later. Wrong colors of the logo. Please, when you are using our logo pack, please choose a relevant logo for websites. Its RGB format is for websites and SMIC format is for printing. If you use the other way, then the colors are distorted. So as I mentioned, should be 2 or 3 clicks to find this information. Sometimes it takes too much clicks. That's not good and should be changed. No project number or acronym is mentioned. Not updated information. It should be updated during the project. And also, as I mentioned, you should think where to put relevant information. Please, if you are doing some tourism routes, please put this information also in the tourism section, not only in the project section. So third mandatory requirement is project section on our website. Most likely all of you are already familiar with it and have filled your project profiles. But what I would like to remind here is that you should update also this information on regular basis. Please add your project events that could be of interest of general public to the event calendar, and also add your project news. Mandatory is also marking of infrastructure objects and equipped premises. In this case, we will provide you with a plaque which you can request from us. You have to send an email and we will mail you this plaque by post. You are more than welcome to make also your project-specific plaque. We have also made templates for this, which you can find on how to implement section on our website. And in case if infrastructure works in one site exceeds €500,000, there should be also a temporary billboard of significant size at the start of the works. In the rest cases, you put the plaque when the works has been finished. And keep in place 5 years after the finalization of the project. Labeling of equipment. In general, labeling of equipment is only recommended, except labeling of specialized cars. That is mandatory. Here you can see an example how specialized vehicle is labeled with a program logo. The labeling is project makes itself label with a program logo for vehicles. If you would like to label office equipment, we can provide you with stickers. You just have to send us email and we will send you by post. And as I already mentioned, equipped premises should be marked with program plaque. Here you can see example from Kuldiga. And here is my email for requests of stickers and plaques. Promotional materials. Many projects are making many promotional materials. What we would like to suggest here is to make less but better. And I would highly suggest if you order promotional materials, please confirm layout with us, because we see many mistakes with this. Press release is not mandatory but recommended. Few things I would like to say about press release is that firstly, we kindly invite you to confirm press release with either me or my colleague Inga, because there are many mistakes being made, so we can be sure that all mandatory requirements for press releases that are described in communication guidelines are there. Second thing I would like to mention, talking about press release, is that we see that many projects are sending them out like only from one project partner perspective. Like what was being done in my municipality, but you have to keep in mind that you are one of the partners in the cross-border project. You have to mention and give a bigger picture what is being done in project in general, also on the other side of the border in Latvia or Lithuania. So you are also being asked to keep evidences for the report when you are sending out press releases, and that is press release itself, also a list of media to which was sent out, and copies of publications. Here you can see some examples of publications from Latvia and Lithuania from this summer, from our third call projects, I see, and some are also from second call. As I already mentioned, all mandatory requirements of press release are described in communication guidelines, but I will list them again. Press release must contain program logo. Use the program logo of in the language of press release. If you are writing in Lithuania, then use Lithuanian logo version, and the same applies for Latvian. There should be project title, acronym, a disclaimer if it contains opinion. You can just copy this disclaimer from our communication guidelines. Also, information about financial support, RDF, should be there. And also website where more information is available. So common mistakes, what projects are making when doing communication. Wrong name of the program. For this, please use vocabulary. We have a separate table in communication guidelines. You just copy and paste correct name of the project. There are two versions. One is shorter, one is longer, that should be used in official communication. Please don't use Latlit program in press releases. Use full program name. RDF abbreviation, explanation what is RDF is not correctly used in Latvian or Lithuanian. You can find how to use, how this abbreviation is explained correctly in Latvian and Lithuanian. Also in communication guidelines, just copy it from there if you are not sure. So many information goes without project number and acronym. It should be there. Distorted logo of the program. I already mentioned it before, and I will show you later. Size of the EU emblem is not respected. I will speak about it later. RDF funding is not indicated. It should be there. And no disclaimer in case of expressed opinion. Please copy, paste this disclaimer from communication guidelines. So now let's talk about program logo. Many mistakes are being made with it. so please listen carefully. Logo, here you can see the most desirable version of the logo that should be used whenever is possible. And it must be as big so it's possible to read text in the logo. And the minimum recommended withdraw of the program logo is 6 centimeters. And very important thing that where many mistakes are being made is that when you use other logos together with our program logo, those other logos can't be bigger than EU emblem in our logo. And bigger means either width or height, one of those dimensions. If you can't make sure that this proportion is followed, please add additional EU flag that is the same size as other logos used. Here you can see some incorrect real-life sample. On the left side is how the logos are used incorrectly, and on the right side, how it should be used correctly, with correct proportions. As I mentioned, sometimes you can't follow those proportions, so you simply add additional EU emblem, EU flag. Here I will show you some incorrect uses of program logo. About distorted colors on the websites already mentioned. Please use RGB file for screens and SMIC files for print. Then on the bottom right corner you see that black and white logo version is used on the website. It's not acceptable because there are no limitations why you can't use color version of the logo. That's it from my side. Do we have any questions? Please, Baiba.
Yes, we have questions. First question, where can we find communication guidelines? Maybe remind
Yes,
everyone.
communication guidelines you can find on how to implement section of the website under publicity subsection.
Is it enough to publish information about the project in website only in national language?
Yes, it's perfectly fine. Yes, for project, as we will have at least one project partner in Latvia, one in Lithuania. So in Latvia you publish on Latvian and Lithuania and Lithuanian.
So can those stickers be used on cars? We do not have budget for car marking.
No, unfortunately our stickers are only for inside, for office equipment. For labeling of cars you should make a sticker yourself. And the sticker is simply program logo of visible size. Please send us layout for confirmation.
Can project publication be in Russian?
Project publication, yes. If it's yes, we have had such. If it's where your audience is, yes, why not?
When sending out press release to media, they decide that what information to publish. So usually they remove project information mandatory like requirements.
Yes, but that depends if it's reported as
Delivery.
as an output, then all those mandatory elements should be there. And if you can't get it other ways, then there's a possibility for paid publications, yes.
Maybe I can add also for press release, when you are sending out, you should save the email that you are sending out completely, like fully like nice press release together with all mandatory requirements, and it also will be as a proof for report. So
Yes.
Next question: should roll-up stand be in English or partner own languages?
We don't really say which language it should be. If you develop just one that will be used for all partners in Latvia and Lithuania, then yes, could be English, but usually it's in national languages, but it can be in English as well. It's fine. Thank you. So now it's quiz time. Let's have a look at the screen. Sorry, we will wait for every one of you. Please join us. As I mentioned before, there are two tabs in Slido. First one is for questions, and second one is for quizzes. It will ask for your name. If you are shy, you can go with a pseudonym or nick, whatever. Let's wait for 35 participants, roughly half of those who are watching us. Or so maybe we can start. So. I'm sorry, some technical issues. So, we are almost on target, but let's start. So, first question is, which program name should be used in official communication? Here you can choose two. There are two correct answers. Wow, I'm pleasantly surprised. It means that almost all of you followed my presentation, except maybe for one person who chose the answer I said not to use. So both first and last name of the program is correct for official communication. So let's see the results. Thank you. So let's go to the second question. Which of the following activities is not mandatory? Here you choose only one answer. Thank you. Most of you are correct, but we have split opinion. So the correct is marking of equipment with stickers is recommended, but it's not mandatory. Thank you. So, is this logo correct for brochure website? It's better to look on the big screen you are watching, so maybe on your mobile device it's too small to properly see. Yes, most of you are correct. This usage of logo for website and brochure is not correct because on website and in brochure you have enough space to use full size of the logo. This was a minimized logo of the program that could be used for some small promotional materials like pens, but it's a rather exception to use it. You should always, whenever possible, to use full size logo of the program. Let's see the results. We have some who answered correctly all three questions. For this question, I also invite you to look on the big screen. And the question is this usage of logo correct? If you followed my presentation, you should know the answer. Most of you thinks correctly, only one person. But yes, it's not correct usage of the logo because proportion of EU emblem in our logo is together with other logos that are being used is not followed. The other logo was bigger than EU emblem in our logo. And there is also a second mistake, as it was in print, there should be used full-size logo of the program. Minimized logo was used incorrectly in this case. But luckily, most of you answered correctly, so hopefully you won't make such mistakes. Next question, last one. Non-compliance with publicity requirements may result with a financial correction. Is it true or false? What do you think? Yes, it is true. This may result with a financial correction. That's why I highly recommend following our communication guidelines. And if in doubt, please contact me or my colleague Inga, and we are more than ready to help and consult you to avoid such mistakes and financial corrections. Thank you to everyone who participated. Let's see the results. Evita is winning. Thank you. Now I give floor to... sorry. Now we have a 10-minute comfort break for everyone to have a coffee or have a little physical exercise, and we will resume at 11:30. Thank you.
Hello. I hope everyone is back and we can proceed with the next piece of information, which is about project changes. But before I start, there are still a couple of questions from previous slides presented by Jānis, and he will shortly address them now. Jāni?
Thank you, Anda. Yes, there are a few more questions. Will there be a video of the webinar? Yes, there will be recording uploaded this week, the same address where you had access to the presentations before the webinar. And I would like to clarify also answer to the question that was raised before. Can project publication be in Russian? It can as a optional, but project communication should be in Latvian and Lithuanian in national languages, and Russian can be used as an optional language if you see that your audience better understands and speaks Russian. It could be used as an optional publication in Russian. Thank you for your questions. Now I give floor to Anda.
Thank you, Jāni. Okay, I will start about project changes. So today I'm going to talk about what is change, how to determine if you need to make a change in the project. Then I will discuss a bit more in details what is minor, what is major changes, and how to proceed from the procedure perspective, what to do when you need to change something in the project application. How to be sure that no change in the project, that you have not made any change in the project. So actually it's quite clear and straightforward. If you follow what is indicated in the work plan, namely in the description of activities, in description of deliverables, in description of outputs and everything, what is stated in application form, also including what is included in the budget, and also what is stated in the comments in the budget, then you can be sure that you haven't deviated from the application form, and no change procedure has to be started. So please pay attention to the application form. From time to time, try to reread it, because sometimes there are cases when we receive report and actually we understand that project partners probably wanted to proceed further and to make project activity better than it was planned in application form, but unfortunately they have forgotten to follow the rules and beforehand to agree upon the changes with the Secretariat to be sure that then they can proceed as they want, and so that they also be sure that costs would be eligible. What is change? No, actually the same thing. If you feel like you cannot follow the work plan, it means that you need to make changes in the project. The same is with the budget. If you have forgotten some cost positions or you would like to change them, you would like to deviate among budget lines, that's all is project change. Also, if you need to reorganize tasks, either in time or either among project partners, that is also a change. Also, if you need more time to implement all planned project activities, then you also have to apply for change procedure. So basically you can change more or less everything can be changed, starting from the work plan, from the budget, also till the partnership. You can replace partner can be added if necessary. You can change the way how you report from 3 months period to 6 months period or vice versa. It's possible to change also project duration and technical documentations for planned investment works. Depending on what you would like to change, there are different kind of procedures set in place. So we kindly ask you to check what is stated in our program manual, section 7.2. There are 2 tables, one for minor change, one for major change, when there are all kinds of changes described. Also, information is stated what kind of restrictions you have to follow, what what preconditions have to be fulfilled so that you can actually implement one or another change. And also there's information what to do, how to contact if change is just small deviation or change is considered as major, and there are more procedures that have to be followed. As I mentioned, there are two types of changes, minor change and major change. For minor changes, we have actually three kinds of procedures in place. One of the procedure is that the modification request has to be filled in a specific form with the information what you would like to change, and it has to be submitted to the Secretariat. But for more technical change, only prior consultation with Joint Secretariat is needed, or in some cases only notification via reports is needed. So it means you don't need to consult with us prior, but we would just like you to inform us on those small deviations in reports. And also there are major changes. For major changes it's quite simple. Always there will be modification request which has to be filled in and submitted via EMS, and the head of the managing authority or monitoring committee will be the body responsible for taking a decision, approving or rejecting your change. First I will start with minor changes. The smaller type, the more technical type of minor change is if you would like to update the technical information. If that is the case, then please just inform us by email, and we will most probably, for most of these situations, we will open EMS for you, and you will be able to correct information what is stated in application form. So, for example, if contact person for the project partner or for lead partner changes, if their contact information changes, if authorized representative for lead partner or project partner changes, things like that, then please inform us as soon as this change takes place, and EMS will be open for you to include new information. Another type of change is when we want you to communicate to us via reports. So, for example, one of these changes being if you would like to reschedule project activities. So you have planned in project application that certain type of activity will take place in period 2, but now you would like to postpone it to period 3. It's possible, you can do it. You don't need our prior consultation or approval. Just indicate, describe this change in the partner report and in the progress report so that we would know why there was a necessity for you to reschedule activities. Also, this could be the case when due to also this COVID-19 situation, you face this necessity to reschedule activities. So you can do it and communicate to us about this via reports. Of course, as long as it still makes sense that it's technical change. If for some project it feels like it's not going to be possible to implement most part of activities in half or a year period, then most probably just not by rescheduling activities would not solve the situation, and maybe other actions have to be done. And in that case, please contact your project manager in the Joint Secretariat and discuss this situation with this person. Another type of change for which we want you just to communicate via reports is if you would like to change funds within one budget line. So, for example, in the budget line travel and accommodation, you have several cost positions planned for several travels. And if one of the travel is more expensive, but at the same time you have savings from other travel, you're still in line with the same budget line, with the travel and accommodation budget line. So you can deviate among these sub-budget lines, you can change amounts, and it's fine. You don't need to make any official changes, amend application form, just describe this deviation in the reports. The same situation is if you would like to change the workload among planned project staff, what you have planned in the budget line 1 staff costs. Next type of minor changes for whom we would like you to do 2 steps. First, consult with the Joint Secretariat prior you want to make the change, and then when the change is done, communicate about it via reports. These changes are, for example, if you would like to change quantity of promotional materials. So application form doesn't need to be changed, but we would like you to first communicate with us, inform us on the necessity why additional promotional materials are needed, and then when you receive information from us that yes, it's fine, you can proceed, then you can implement the change. What I also would like to remind you, when you check our program manual table for the changes, there's also one column called restrictions. So for each type of change, you also have to keep in mind and check if this change is possible. For example, in case you would like to have additional promotional materials, it's possible in case you will not exceed total planned cost for promotional materials, which is planned in the application form. So as long as this rule is followed, you can proceed with the change under this categorization that you would first consult with us and then communicate via reports. Next type of change is minor adjustments in activities and deliverables. And actually, this type of change I have in 2 slides, in this one slide and also in the next one, when we have a different procedure in place. This is because actually there are technical adjustments possible in activities and deliverables which doesn't require change in application form, but at the same time, some of adjustments in activities and deliverables, mainly those who more affect substance of the activity, they would fall on the category that the application form has to be changed. So we cannot always draw a very perfect line which type of change falls under which category. So and even if you would like to make adjustments in activities and deliverables, so the best option is actually to communicate with us first, and then with a discussion with this Joint Secretariat, you will come to a conclusion which procedure then can you implement. In this category would fall changes like, for example, if additional project management meeting is needed, or more people are involved in the meeting, or meeting is rescheduled in another city, for example. The same is in the budget line 3 and 4. We have possibility that it's allowed to include interrelated and forgotten costs in the project budget. So what does it mean? It means that for events which are organized and for the costs which make sense that they usually are present for organization of certain events, for example, for trainings, for conferences, it's quite obvious that most probably that you will need rent of premises, for example, but due to some technical mistake, you just have forgotten to indicate in the budget that one of the costs which will be planned for organization of event will be rent of premises. So it makes sense that this type of cost is there. Consult with us and we will conclude that yes, it's possible for you to also rent premises, and there is no need to adjust application form. It's enough to consult with us and then communicate via reports. Also, it's possible to change building and technical documents, and it falls under this type of change as long as information in the activity and deliverable does not change. if technical documentation changed, but actually the sense and the substance of the activity and the deliverable remains the same. So it's possible to do it and consult with us and communicate to us via reports. And the next type of minor changes are the ones where we need you to prepare specific request for modification. It's a special Word file we want you to fill in, submit to us to check it first, and then submit via EMS system, so that actually amendments in the application form can take place. So, for example, these type of changes are adjustments in activities deliverables. Again, I know that I mentioned this type of change in my previous slide, but what we meant with this in this sense is, for example, if additional trainings are needed, additional events are organized, some more substance-related changes take place in the project, then we will ask you to amend the application form and introduce these changes directly into the project. Also, reallocation between budget lines and or between project partners up to 15% from total project budget can be changed. And I will talk about this, what we consider as change between budget line a bit later in my next slide. Also, if you would like to change staff members, include additional staff member in the project in budget line 1, or merge tasks of several staff members, and ongoing you want that only one person, for example, would fulfill 2 persons' responsibilities, then also amendments in application form are needed. So I will talk a bit more about what we consider as change in the budget. So, for example, we have a case that we have project with 3 project partners, and each of them has planned certain amount of funds in budget line 4, external expertise or service, and in budget line 5, equipment. In total, in the budget line 4, total amount planned is €1,200, and for budget line 5 is €1,500. So, for example, the first period comes and some partners have started to spend money under these budget lines. So what we see that in the first period, lead partner has spent €500 instead of €400, which are planned in their project budget. The same situation is detected in the budget line 5. One of the partners has spent more than it has planned in its application form. From the program perspective, no change is needed because we will check total amount spent in both budget lines. So for budget line 4, total amount planned is €1,200. This amount is not exceeded because so far in the whole partnership, €500 are reported. The same situation is with budget line 5. So far, only €600 are reported, but there is funds in amount of €1,500 available in the project application under this budget line. In the next period, other partners have started to spend funds under these budget lines, and you see that now together in total under budget line 4, external expertise and service, €1,000 is spent. So still, from the program perspective, no change is needed because there are still €200 available in the budget line 4. And the same is with budget line 5. €300 still is available for project partners to spend. Of course, I have to mention that project partners who spend more funds under one or another budget line, they of course have to keep in mind that they should have respective savings in other budget lines, because it's not possible for you to spend in all budget lines more funds that you have planned, because at the end of the day you will come to the higher expenditures than you have planned in your project application in total. So of course the overall project partner's budget cannot be exceeded, so as also the total project budget cannot be exceeded. So project partners have to keep in mind that yes, it's possible to spend more, but of course you have to make sure where this money will come from, that you have savings somewhere else. Okay, let's keep checking what happens with spending in budget line 4 and 5 in the periods 3. Third project partner has spent some funds under budget line 4, and now total spending has come to 1,200 euro, which is total planned amount in the project application. So from program perspective, as I said, no change is necessary because nothing is exceeded. In period 4, under budget line 4, no expenditures are declared, but in budget line 5, third partner has spent certain amount of funds, and now in general more costs are reported than planned in budget line 5. So this is, from the program perspective, the time when the change has to be done and shift from one budget line to another, from the budget line where there are savings to the budget line 5 has to be done, so that in the revised application form there should be 1,600 euro under budget line 5 available, because otherwise, if in the last period you will report to the Joint Secretariat that in general 1,600 euro are spent, and this is the last period, there's no possibility to make changes because most probably project has already ended, so it means that 100 euro will be ineligible costs. So to make sure that you can follow changes in the budget, and you can be sure that at the end of the project you don't have any ineligible costs, so we have prepared one tool for you, which is called the monitoring document to follow budgetary changes Excel file. So you can access it on our program website under section reporting, subsection project changes. We invite you to use this Excel form where all project partners can indicate their current budget, and then they can indicate changes what they have in the project budget, so that lead partner can actually follow and make notes if and at what time of period relocation among budget lines is needed. Because the best way how to deal with changes in budget is actually if all project partners would communicate amongst each other, and if one or another project partner would like to spend more in some budget line than it has funds, so it should definitely inform lead partner about this, and lead partner should check the balance of what is available for other project partners. Now some information about major changes. So what we consider as major change. From our rules, major change are, for example, if you would like to make changes in project partnership. If you would like to add project partner or remove project partner, this is a major change, and it always will require amendments in the application form. Also, if reallocations between budget lines or between project partners are more than 15% from the project total budget. If there are already substantial changes in project activities, or if there are changes in the project outputs, it will also be major change. If project needs to be prolonged or reporting periods are changed, this is also a major change. For major changes, the procedure is a bit more lengthier than for minor changes. Therefore, at the end of the project, when your project will be in this last period, so please check if you need any major changes, because they take time, and at least 1 month before the end of the project, modification requests should be submitted to us via EMS already, because in case if change requires approval of the monitoring committee, it will take more time for agreeing upon the changes. And of course, there's also time needed for you, for project partners, to implement the change with what is amended in activities, for example. The procedure for changes which require preparation of request of modification more or less is the same. You prepare the request, you submit it via EMS, just the difference is that in case of minor change, Joint Secretariat will approve this request, but in case of major change, it will be the head of the managing authority or monitoring committee who will be responsible for taking decision whether to approve or reject change. When in the project partnership there is a need for change, we would highly recommend lead partner to check if also other partners don't need some changes, so it will make life easier for you and also for us if all necessary changes will be combined in one request for modifications. You can also combine minor and major changes in one request, just separate them clearly so that it's possible which change is minor, which change is major, and then submit it one time or two times to avoid situation that the project is under ongoing change. If you need to prepare a request for change, what to do? Again, we invite you to check our website, Latlit.eu, under section Reporting, subsection Project Changes. There is a file called Request for Changes form, and it looks like this. It's a Word document, and it contains several questions we would like you to answer in this form so that we would have the full picture about what is being changed and why something has to be changed in the project. So we call it the 4 whys. First of all, we need you to include information what is planned currently in the application form. So for which project partner, which activity, which number of activity, which number of deliverable, what exactly is stated in the application form currently. And then in the same manner, indicate what exactly you would like to change, in which activity, in which deliverable, in which output, in budget, what will change. And then 2 more substantial questions have to be answered, namely, why there is a necessity for change in the project, and what is the impact of the change on the whole project. Now some words about tips, what we have seen from our projects under implementation so far, maybe from some mistakes we have seen in project reports and in project changes. So, for example, one thing, it might be a bit confusing when I'm talking about all these different types of procedures, how to deal with changes. So actually the best way how to proceed is actually to talk to your project manager in the Joint Secretariat before you deviate from the application form, and then you will be on the safe side, and then you will clearly understand what you have to do with each of the change. For minor technical deviations, if you have agreed upon them with the Secretariat via consultation, just don't forget to describe them in reports, because we quite often receive reports where these deviations are not indicated. Quite often we receive requests for changes which don't contain all the 4 these W's, what I referred to in my previous slide. Please check request for modification carefully. Answer to all the questions, that will speed up the process of the approval of the request for change. Very important thing which I would like to draw your attention to is about the savings. It's for quite many projects, there are savings in the project budget, and it's possible to use those savings, but please bear in mind that just having savings is not justification and is not reason itself that you can make a change in the project. It's not good practice, and the project change will not be approved if you will submit request for change, and the only justification and the primary justification what you will have in the request for change will be the fact that you have savings, and that's why you would like to purchase something in addition, or you would like to organize additional activities. Yes, change is possible, but only if it will bring additional value to the project, if it will reinforce the quality of existing activities, or if it will reinforce quality of project outputs. And savings is just a tool how you can do it. Also very important is that savings is not a reason that you can purchase additional items without amending application form. In case you would like to purchase something in addition or organize something in addition, it's always going to be change in application form. So always there will be request for change will be prepared, and modifications in application form will take place. We sometimes receive in reports costs for items which were not planned in the application form. For example, additional something has been purchased just because you have savings. Unfortunately, costs will be ineligible if amendments in application form will not take place. The same also about the budget spending per budget line. Be careful, you can spend more in budget lines unless you have savings. You can do it, but overall costs planned in one or another budget line cannot be exceeded. If that is the case, then when the final progress report is submitted and we detect the difference that project partners altogether have spent more funds in one or another budget line, then unfortunately the difference is ineligible, so we cannot pay you for that amount. In case there are some problems with the implementation of the project, please inform us as soon as possible. As I mentioned before, you can combine major and minor changes together. Management of major changes takes more time than you can expect, so please prepare them well in advance. We have had situations from our current projects that projects are being prolonged, and there are situations when also repeated prolongations from the projects are requested. So we would like you to plan prolongations carefully, not to ask for repeated prolongations. It's better to ask one and for a longer period of time than to ask for repeated prolongations. It's of course understandable that now, due to COVID-19, there most probably will be changes for most of the project partners. Either it's concerning rescheduling of activities, or it's related with organization of planned activities in a different way than they were expected. It all can be done. Better way is to discuss the plan change with your project manager at the Joint Secretariat, because there are different situations possible for also our first and second call projects which ended or were close to end during when the situation with COVID-19 started. There were situations that, for example, some face-to-face meetings were organized online rather than, because it was not possible to organize meetings at presence. They were technically they were managed online. For example, final events, final conferences were organized as online events. Also, we have had cases when project partner experience events are organized online. And for example, partners beforehand prepare some videos with information and showing their experience, what they have in their premises, in their institutions. And then during this event, they share with videos, they discuss what each of the project partner has. It's of course not perfect situation, but we have to somehow manage our projects, and all these things are possible. Also, it is possible that some events might be cancelled due to COVID-19 situation. But in case of cancelled activities, so actually we would like to avoid as much as possible cancelled activities. It's better to make changes in current activities or to replace planned activities with some other activities, not to have just cancelled activities, because it will probably then negatively affect implementation and achievement of project outputs. Also, when you plan present activities, we would like to draw your attention to plan costs very carefully. Try to avoid advance payments to the service providers. Try to have in the contracts clauses that it's possible to cancel events and to receive funds back, because if you will report to us costs for event which will not take place, we cannot promise that all these costs will be reimbursed to you, because there has to be some certain there has to be some certain rules in place that the costs can be considered as eligible, and all these situations will be assessed case by case on a case-by-case situation. Also, I think we have sent to all the project partners, to lead partners, information about COVID-19, how to deal with it. So if any project partner has not received it, please contact your lead partner. Lead partner should have those emails, because we have sent them with more information, like how we recommend to deal with project expenditures during this situation. When the request for change is needed, first, as I said, we want you to fill in Word document. We would like you to first submit it to us via email so that we could align it, and only when we have agreed upon the content of the request for changes, then submit it via EMS. Just I would like to mention that the fact that we have harmonized request for changes via email is not approval of the change, and is only a preliminary assessment of the change, and the official procedure will start only when you will submit this request for change via EMS. How to submit project changes via EMS? Again, please visit our homepage, Latlia.eu. There is a guidance document prepared with very nice document with print screens, with clear instructions, which buttons should you press in order to submit changes in the EMS. Just some few words how to do it. When you enter your project application, on the left side menu there is a button request modification. You submit it, attach Word document what you have prepared, also fill in text in request of modification, and submit it to us. When Secretariat or Managing Authority or Monitoring Committee will approve application, then application form will be opened and you will be able to implement the change and make deviation, make amendments in the application form itself. Then on the left side menu again you will have a button check modification, and when the check will be done, then button submit modification appear. It will mean that amended application form is submitted to us for check. If we will see that all the things what we have agreed upon in the request for modification is done in the application form, we will approve it. Once application form is approved, then lead partner will get the message that the change in the application form is approved. In case changes require also change in subsidy contract, then Secretariat will prepare addendum to the subsidy contract and will send it to the lead partner for signature. So that is all from my side at the moment. Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, there is question. If we organize event, meeting, training online instead of meeting in person due to the COVID situation, which procedure should be done? This is one, and how we should do with list of participants.
It of course depends on the type of project what you have. Most probably, for most cases, it will fall on the category that you have to consult with the Secretariat first and then report via reports. But again, it actually depends on how the project application is written and what is stated in the application form. If it's a meeting in the present actually is very, the form how the meeting was planned or this training was planned was actually very crucial to have it like face-to-face. If that's the case, then most probably it will be considered as change which requires modifications in application form. But actually, if all the planned actions what you have in mind, you can done by organization of online event, then it will be considered as technical change. So consult with us and communicate via report. About list of participants, it would be good to record these type of these meetings and also to see who has participated in the events, because for most these online tools it is possible to determine and to see who has participated. So that will be evidence for us.
So this question I think was covered, but still, if we save money for one activity and we can do more higher deliverables in the same activity, if that is also considered as changes that must be submitted.
Yes. So if you want to do more, it requires change in application form. So request for change has to be prepared, submitted to us. We will assess it. If justification is proper, then the change will be approved.
Next question, how many times project can be changed?
We don't have any restrictions on the number of changes, but no, of course, if the project is under ongoing change, it's confusing for you. You may make, unfortunately, more mistakes, and if there's ongoing change procedure in place. So we invite to reduce number of changes. That's why, in case you would like to deviate from the project application, please communicate within your partnership and ask from all the project partners. Maybe they also need some change, and then you can submit these changes more rarely, but they will be they will affect more partners.
Should the project change be done before the actual spending, or it can be done post factum?
No. In general, you should make a change first and then spend money. That's the only way how you can be sure that the costs will be eligible.
If screenshot of online meeting with participants enough for report?
For the list of participants, yes. For as evidence for the meeting itself, we would also prefer at least that you would have for your own in your own files also a recording of events and trainings. It's possible that we can ask for those evidence also. Okay, if there are no questions so far. Jāni? Yeah. Okay, so now we will start with the change quiz. So we will wait for participants to enter their names. As Yanis said, you can also enter some nicknames. Should we start? We are quite few, but no. Okay, maybe we can start. The first question is, when the request for project minor changes is considered as submitted to the Secretariat? Yes, most of you has answered correctly. Request for change is considered as submitted when the lead partner submitted via EMS. Next question. Now we have the winners here. Next question. Request for change should contain the following. Yes, all of you has answered correctly. I'm very happy about this. All the above information has to be included. Exactly what is planned in application form, what you want to change, and why, and what is the impact of the change on the project. We have winners. Third question. What is the last deadline when the request for major change must be submitted to the Joint Secretariat via EMS system? And the correct answer is not later than 1 month before the end of the project. Of course, this is the final time. You can submit it also before. Okay, we have winners. Fourth question. GS has informed project that it's sufficient to describe the requested changes in project report. How the changes must be communicated later? Yes, most of you has answered correctly. Exactly, the changes must be described in the reports in that period of time when the changes have taken place. Next question. How should lead partner act in case of change of authorized representative of one of the project partners? Most of you has answered correctly. You have to inform us by email, and then we will open an EMS system for you, and contact information can be changed. So no need to apply for official changes. Next question. The trip of media to new touristic location has to be cancelled due to COVID-19 related restrictions on gathering. How should project act? Yes, thank you. We are very happy about the answers. Exactly, this is our preferred way how to deal with the situation. Exactly, either you modify activity or you replace it with other activities. Anyways, please contact your project manager in the joint secretariat and discuss what are the options, how to deal with this situation. Next question. So, in the project application, in the project partner budget, there are planned costs for organization of trainings, for example, lecturers, venue, catering, training materials. But partner would like to cover also costs for bus rent and entrance tickets for participants' excursion. Are these additional costs would be eligible? Yes, most of you are correct. GS should be consulted if changes should be made because, yes, indeed, it is possible that these additional costs are eligible. As mentioned in my slides, there are possibilities to make technical amendments in the project budget for so-called interconnected and forgotten costs. But in that case, consultation with the joint secretariat has to take place, and if these costs are agreed upon, then you can go for it and have these expenditures. Next question. Activity is postponed from period 1 to period 3. So what do you think you should do? How to proceed? Most of you has answered correctly. Exactly, there is no necessity to change application form, no need to prepare request for change. It's sufficient to describe this technical deviation in the report. Next question. Costs for project partner 2 for organization of seminar, and the costs are planned in budget line 4, are lower by €300 than planned. But for organization of different activity conference for the same partner in the same budget line 4, actual costs are higher than planned by €200. So how to proceed? Yes, indeed. Most of you are correct. This kind of change doesn't require amendments in application form. It's sufficient to describe this deviation in the reports because one partner has made change in the same budget line among expenditure items. Next question. Costs for one of the project partner for travel to seminar planned in budget line 3 were lower than planned by €200. But for organization of conference for the same partner but in different budget line, actual costs are higher by €180. What do you think? How should you proceed? Yes. I'm very happy to see that almost everyone has answered correctly. Indeed, yes, it's possible to make this change because project partner has savings in one budget line, so it can cover costs of higher expenses in other budget line. Of course, as long as in general overall cost for budget line 4 is not exceeded. So in order to be sure that this is the case, you have to talk to your lead partner, and the lead partner should also probably talk to other partners and to check if you're still on the safe side and total costs planned in budget line 4 are not exceeded. Once they are exceeded, then please prepare request for change and amend application form. Next question, which is true about reallocation of costs among project partners? And the correct answer is yes, all are true. Exactly. We have one person who has answered all questions so far. And the last question. Project Partner 2 has planned to purchase 8 laptops for organization of training activities. Laptops are purchased cheaper than planned, and partner wants to use savings to purchase 2 additional laptops. So, is it allowed, and if yes, how to proceed? And the correct answer is that you should prepare request for change and amend application form, because it's not enough to consider that as long as purchase of laptops in general is planned in application form, that it's safe to purchase more and more items if you have savings. No. If in the report we will receive information that 10 laptops are purchased instead of 8, so purchase of 2 additional laptops are ineligible, unless you have prepared the request for change and amend application form. Thank you. So we can see total results, and we have one winner, Annette, who has answered to all the questions.
Yes, and talking about results, we have prepared some small program souvenirs from winners. So we would like to hear from Annette, from Diana Vanaga and Evita Reģe. Please send me an email with your address so we can send you some small gifts from the program. Now it's time for general questions. If you have any, there was a question about if those presentations will be available. Yes, we will upload them this week on the same address. Where presentations that were prepared before the seminars were available, the same address, you will have access also to the presentations from this webinar. So now it's time for any general questions. We will be here for a couple of more minutes to answer your questions if you have any. For those who don't have any questions, we thank you very much for your active participation today. And we remind you that the second part of the webinar will be next Tuesday. Hopefully we will be on time, 9:30. Thank you, and if we have any questions, we will answer them. But for rest of you, thank you and goodbye.